Hi, this is Jason Davitt from Witchwood Productions, and this is IrisTV.
I think it's a great opportunity, the Iris Festival, to bring together filmmakers from all over the world who are passionate about their work, some that are just at the beginning stage of their career, some that have moved on to that next stage. And we see a kind of different window on the world, really, from the point of view of Iris.
It's bringing filmmakers to Iris, and it's such like it's giving them something to take away. Not just obviously it's to entertain and show other people's work, but they're actually learning something. And the amount of information that I felt that was actually given at the producers' forum, I think people have actually taken something very valued home, with them. So.
I think the challenges in some ways stay the same through time. Can you be tenacious? Can you, 4 years on, still be flying the flag for your project and still passionate and still interested? In other ways, the challenges change. We have new models of funding now. We have a much more connected community. When I started as a producer, there was no email. So you desperately had to kind of ravage contacts from people. Now you can kind of get to most people, if you want to, just with the click of a button.
My experience making short films and corporates, and more recently a television documentary, it was a learning experience. So I didn't really know how the world of film worked before starting out, but by making a short film, by starting to meet people who are more experienced and working as professionals in the industry, I got to know more about how it works. And when I started, I was more interested in the creative vision or the story aspects of a project. And as my experience grew and I became a bit more familiar with the world of film, I became more interested in how it all works behind the scenes. So that means producing, getting financing, working out deals with people, how that's negotiated. And for me, a professional world opened up that I didn't really know much about. So my background is magazine journalism, and I'm a professional in that sphere and in the world of advertising, but in the world of film I've realised there's so much more to learn, and events like this make that possible.
I think what's great about shared expertise is that you learn a little from a lot of people, and that in a way each journey is different but has things in common. And generally speaking, the industry is generous and wants to help new talent. We're all hungry to see other people succeed. So I think it feels like a great place to share, to grow and to learn new things.
The issues discussed in the Producers Forum represent conversations that are happening across the industry, and to have people come in to Cardiff, into the South Wales Film Network, and start to share ideas about those things and discuss common problems helps us in this community as filmmakers, particularly independents, to get to grips with how we can solve those problems in our projects, in our current projects, in projects in the future, and things to look out for.
I think one of the buzzwords that's been around this festival is the whole idea of crowdsourcing funding for your movie. And I think for me that seems like a kind of extraordinary idea. I'm still, I think, catching up with that idea of crowdsourcing your audience and kind of marketing through the new technologies. But I think for a lot of producers, that idea of using Twitter and Facebook and all those kind of connectivity social media things is a first language for them. So I think there'll be all kinds of new ways of funding things that we can't yet quite imagine.
Public sources of financing in the UK seem to have dried up or been redirected, and people are turning to other sources, particularly in low-budget filmmaking, including digital, online crowdfunding projects, or going out to business and pitching their ideas to people who may be interested in private investment. It's a complicated world, I think, where negotiations take place at a grassroots level, and people make mistakes a lot of the time.
I think if you talk to anyone in the industry, they'd always say they want more money and there's not enough. They'd always say getting the work out there is really difficult, that the process is tough. But you know what? We must be addicted to it because there are still plenty of producers who want to do it.
I mean, the thing is, what I did was, because it was more of an informal sort of meeting that we did, and what it was all based upon was our own personal experience about how we did it. And I think the biggest message that we try to get over is that if I can do it, anybody can do it. So I mean, I've got no training or anything like that. I just decided to make a movie and I did it, and it's actually been successful. So, as I say, people just need to keep that drive. And the one thing is that I always feel is that the problem is with people who are creative in the film business, we're dreamers. But you've got to put that dream into reality. You've got to earth it. You've got to ground it. And I think that's the hardest thing for anyone who's a dreamer to do. So I'd say, yeah, dream it and be it. You've got to do it. You've got to get out there and achieve something. And the one good thing is that people actually turned up for the Producers Forum, showed that they got off the backsides and actually went and did something. So it's that next step, and you just got to keep going forwards and forwards and forwards and pushing and pushing and pushing. And I think that's the message that I try to get over, is that don't stop. Keep your dreams, but try to be practical and real about them.